It's really sweet because, you know, I feel like that's life. Sometimes you do get in positions where things are so beautiful in like the beginning, like the honeymoon phase and all that, but then like real life hits. So it's really cool like seeing a couple that is married, not like they're falling in love, but they are married and like seeing how he tries to get his wife to fall back in love with him and to basically like rebuild their marriage and to remember the covenant that they made under God. So hey, what is up guys? My name is Sakila and welcome back to Wonderfully Made in Christ. I hope you all are having a blessed day. So first things first, if you are new here, I make videos about my faith, life advice sometimes I throw in some fashion videos and just a little bit of a sprinkle of all different types of things. So if any of that floats your boat, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, if you end up enjoying this video, make sure you please give me a big old thumbs up. Okay, so on to the video for today. So today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all you watching. I hope you are having a good one. Okay, so I thought for Valentine's Day I would do something kind of fun and talk about some of my favorite romance movies slash like rom-coms. So I don't know about you, but I really I enjoy romance movies. I know some people think they're corny and cheesy and predictable and all that, but I for one really enjoy watching a good like romance movie. So I thought I would give you guys a list of some of my personal favorites. And I also want to preface this by saying these are some films that, unlike a lot of romance movies, as I'm pretty sure like all of us know, do sometimes tend to have a lot of like sexual content and things like that. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I have seen, you know, movies, you know, like that as well. I've seen like a lot of the big, you know, romance movies that are out there. But you know, as I've grown more in the Lord, I'm really trying to be more mindful of what, you know, I feed my mind and to not, you know, watch things that cause me to have like lustful thoughts and things like that. So that is why I am providing you with this list today. So it's like romance movies that are still fun or movies that I still really enjoy and think are good, but don't have, I would say, as much of like the sexual content that you see in some of the big romance movies today. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first one on the list is one that actually is a really big romance movie, and it's probably one that a lot of you have seen, and it is called A Walk to Remember. This is probably one of my like favorite like romance movies. I've definitely seen this movie like several times, but I love it and I enjoy it every single time I see it. So basically what this movie is about is there's this guy and he's kind of like a little bit of a bad boy and he got into some trouble, and there's this girl who is very sweet. She's Christian. She's actually like the pastor's daughter, and so those are the two main characters. So already from that, I'm pretty sure that maybe pique some of you guys' interest. So of course, you know, like they get together. He starts because he got in trouble. One of the school, because they're both in high school, they're high school seniors, had him to do was to tutor after school, and she tutors after school as well. And so one day they're on the bus together riding home, and they kind of like strike up a little bit of a conversation. And first there's conflict there, as there is in like a lot of these romance movies, but you're gonna have to watch the movie to see how things unfold. So first one is A Walk to Remember. Okay, so number two is a movie that a lot of you guys might not know. It's definitely not, I would say, like a big mainstream movie, but it is a movie that low-key is probably becoming one of my favorite romance movies. And this movie is called The Beautiful Beast, and it's really sweet. It is based on Beauty and the Beast. Like the storyline is a storyline that is very similar to that movie. And it is also free. It's free, I believe, on YouTube. If you want to check it out, then let me know in the comments below how you liked it. And it's free on this app or website called Tubi, Tubi. Type that in, look up The Beautiful Beast, and it should pop right up for you. But basically, the storyline of this movie is basically there's this lady. She's, I think, about 29 years old. So there's this girl, and basically she's very, very spoiled. Like, she's pretty, but she's like hateful to her friends, and she's like not nice, and she's very caught up in things that are very materialistic. And then you'll, because I don't want to spoil the movie, but you'll find out like later on kind of like things that like happened in her life that kind of like led her down the path that like she went on, and things like that, and how she ended up being shaped and molded into like the person that, you know, she was basically displaying, I guess, to the world. But anyway, you get to see also too like a more softer side of her as her character like develops after she meets, you know, this one guy who basically kind of like gives her a taste of her own medicine. And basically the movie is mainly focused on these two the entire time. Now I know, I guess sometimes it's very hard to build around that, or like you get bored just seeing like just two characters, but I'm telling you, I feel like this film did it very, very well. And so yeah, I feel like has probably become one of my favorite romance movies. And it's very clean too. Like, I don't think there was any like cursing, there weren't any like sex scenes in it or anything like that, but it was very well done and a very beautifully shot movie. So definitely make sure you check out The Beautiful Beast. Okay, so number 3 is a movie that y'all might have heard of before, that it first came out in the 80s. It's called Overboard. I haven't seen the one that came out in the 80s though, so I'm going to be talking about the one that came out recently, and I think 2017, with Anna Faris, and I forgot the other guy's name. I know he's a very popular actor as well, and he's a really good actor. I'm going to be talking about that one. So this one, I really enjoyed this movie. I only saw it once, and it's like kind of like a romantic comedy, but I ended up enjoying it like much more than I thought I would. I don't know, I thought it was really cute, really funny, and I feel like the actors did like a phenomenal job in the characters that they displayed. And so basically I can only go off what happened in this one, but basically to my knowledge, it's like Overboard. Like, if you've seen Overboard, the one that came out in the 80s, but it's like switched. So instead of like the woman who's like the rich, wealthy one, who is like really mean to like the guy who is helping her with something. I don't know if he's like a plumber or like he's something in like the service industry. So instead of like her being mean to him, it's switched. So it's like the man who's like the really like wealthy one who like looks down on people, and it's the woman who's like in the service position. But he's really mean to her like the first time like he sees her, and then he ends up falling off the ship, and he basically he washes up on shore, but he has amnesia, so he doesn't remember like who he is, like that he's wealthy and all that. And so basically he ends up in like the hospital, and they're waiting for someone to claim him. So like the woman who was like really, really, you know, he was mean to her and all that, she uses it as an advantage to kind of like get even, and to kind of also too, like she is struggling like as well. Like, she's a single mom with I think like 3 daughters. So she basically pretends to be his wife. Like, she claims him, pretends to be his wife, and has him do like basically like work around the house and like different stuff like that. But you know, as all romances, I don't want to spoil it, but you know, like they start liking each other and like things like that. And so anyway, it's really sweet, it's really good. This one is PG-13. I don't know what the other 2 are, but so there is, I guess, like some humor in it. Just letting you guys know that might be like inappropriate. I wouldn't say, there is one scene that might be kind of on like, you know, a little bit sexual, but there wasn't anything in it that what I would say personally is too much. But if you want, sometimes what I like to do is I like to look up like movies beforehand. So if you're one of those people who you want to know like how much like sexual content, how much like cursing, how much violence, how much this, how much that is in a movie, I would suggest like looking it up. And there's a site called Common Sense, so like use that site to maybe do your research and look it up beforehand if you're curious to know like all the different the content that's in the movie. But I for one would say it was good. I don't think there's anything in it that was too inappropriate for me, and it was a movie that I definitely enjoyed. Okay, so moving right along. So I know a lot of us have seen probably this movie before, or these two movies, and that is like The Princess Diaries and The Princess Diaries 2. Tell me if you guys prefer The Princess Diaries 1 or 2. I personally prefer the second one. The first one's good too. I don't know. Like, I really think the second one is really, really cute. So I know a lot of you guys have seen this movie before, or seen probably both of these movies before. So, you know, like the first one is about a girl who's like 16, and then like all of a sudden she finds out she's royalty, and so now she's getting like adjusted to her life and learning how to be royal. And there's a really fun, iconic like makeover scene in the first one. So that's the first one. And then the second one is the process of her like becoming queen, you know, but also there's like a little romance thrown in there with a guy who, you know, at first had the wrong intentions in pursuing her, but then like his intentions kind of, you know, change over time. So that's kind of more the second one. And what I feel like I like about both these movies is it's not just like, I wouldn't say like the romance in either movie, even though I feel like it is more focused on in the second one. It was focusing on other things. It was focusing on like the main character as she grew, you know, as she grew into becoming what it means to, you know, like rule a kingdom, and figuring out like her own way of how she wanted to rule, and taking a stand against like really old-fashioned laws and things like that. So the focus also is on her and her own character development, I would say, in like both movies, which is something that I personally really like. Okay, moving right along to the next movie. So this is a movie, I would say that it's PG-13 as well, and there is some content there. I know there is some profanity in it. There might be some drug references or usage in it too, and some violence. Okay, but you know, we're still gonna put it on the list. And you know, if that, you know, concerns you, definitely look it up and see like what content is in it before, you know, you watch it. But that movie is The Diary of a Mad Black Woman. My mom really likes this movie, and I've grown to like really like this movie too. I wasn't allowed to watch it when it first came out, but now that like I'm old enough and all that, I've seen it, and it's really sweet. It's really sweet. Basically, it's about this woman, and she and her husband. Her husband is a very like well-known man in the community. They do very well financially. They live in like a beautiful mansion, but basically eventually like he gets kind of like tired of her, and basically she discovers that he's been having an affair with another woman for like several years, and so he just throws her that's not funny, but he like throws her basically out of their mansion, and now she's left like all alone, and basically has to rebuild her life. And so there is a little bit of content in it that some might find, I guess, a little bit inappropriate, but I feel like there's nothing in it, to me personally, that is too inappropriate. And it's a really good movie as well that focuses on the character, you know, learning more about herself, finding her own way. And then there's a sweet little romance in it too, with a guy who she clashed with in the beginning, but basically he really like starts to care about her for like who she really is. And it's really sweet to see her like fall in love with, you know, this guy who ends up, I guess, being kind of like the right guy for her. Because I feel like, you know, in life too, there's times where you can be focused on a person, maybe they have like all those qualities that, you know, you look for in a spouse, or even just qualities that maybe are kind of like superficial. Sometimes it's easy to get blinded by that, by someone who's like well off, like attractive, like all those things. But like after, though she got at her lowest point, like she found a man who like really loved her for her, and it's a really sweet movie. So I would definitely suggest checking that one out as well, and let me know if you like it in the comments. Okay, so moving right along. So okay, I have to think for a second because I kind of forgot like my whole list. But anyway, the next one is a movie called Fireproof. So this is actually a Christian romance movie. I haven't seen this movie in a while, but I would say it's pretty known in the Christian community. And basically it has the same guy who's from Left Behind. I think his name is Kirk Cameron, and in this movie. And so basically it's this movie where it's a married couple, and basically they're having a lot of problems. Like they're pretty much on like the brink of divorce. Like things aren't looking good for them. And so basically I think it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I think they've decided like kind of like to call it quits. Like it's over, they're done. Like I know the wife, like she stops wearing her wedding ring. She starts talking to like this guy at her work, even though like she's still married to, like the other guy. But basically the man's dad steps in and basically challenges him to not give up on his marriage, basically. And so it's actually based on a book. I think the book is called like The Love Doctrine or something like that. I forget what it's called, but I think it's based on a book. And it's by like, I believe, a Christian author. And basically it's for couples, and basically he uses the book to try to help win his wife back. And so I think one of the things in the book is like do the things that you used to do for your spouse, like in the beginning of your relationship. So he would do things like, he did something like he like cooked dinner for her, like bought her some flowers, tried to actually like listen to her and communicate better and things like that. Like he decided to, even though I think she was at the point like she did not want to, she wanted out of the marriage completely, but he still tried to like to woo her and to pursue her heart. And it's really really sweet. It's like I said, it's a Christian movie, and it's really sweet because I feel like that's life. Sometimes you do get in positions where things are so beautiful in like the beginning, like the honeymoon phase and all that, but then like real life hits. So it's really cool like seeing a couple that is married, not like they're falling in love, but they are married, and like seeing how he tries to get his wife to fall back in love with him and to basically like rebuild their marriage and to remember the covenant that they made under God. So that one is definitely a sweet one as well. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end it here. I know, Valentine's Day is about to pass, but if you want more recommendations for fun romance movies / like romantic comedies that maybe, don't have, I guess, like as much sexual content and things like that, that are, I guess, a little bit more cleaner, like if that like floats your boat, let me know. I want to know. Let's have a discussion in the comment section below. Anyway, until next time, follow me on my social media. I'll try to put that in there. But anyway, until next time, guys, I hope you have an amazing, blessed Valentine's Day. Remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I love you guys. Bye.